Do you know one of the biggest factor that brings about divorce, that just causes so much havoc, and that many of the marriages are falling apart? Well, stay tuned until the end when I get to share how you can be able to prevent it. If you are in a relationship, if you are, you know, thinking of lasting together, stay tuned with me until the end when I get to share one of the things that you can do to try and avoid this so that we can all have happy and wonderful relationships. So, welcome to Silver Shares here. Thank you for checking in. If you're new, bienvenue, welcome, karibu. It's good to have you here. And for those who are my fellow members and supporters, I want to say thank you. I'm sorry for being absent for the last 2 weeks. I had a ceremony for my baby girl and guests from all over, so the entertaining and all that, life happens. And so I'm happy to be able to be here again and offer one tip that, as we talked a lot in the groups and online, led me to feeling like I can maybe share this tip because it has worked for me. So I'm like, why not share it? So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, or share with a soul that can also benefit from this, so we can all get to grow together, gain time and financial freedom, so that we can all live, love, and learn, right? So, one factor that literally causes a lot of havoc. Yes, you have the violence. Yes, you have bad communication. Yes, you have all these disruptive things that come up in a relationship that many of us do not understand. But studies have shown, as I study online, also on healthy relationships, and I try and share on one of my channels on Instagram on relationships, is one factor that actually, like, it's like a catalyst that literally wakes up the volcanic eruption that just blows out and unfortunately brings about all these factors on, is money, finances. The financial aspect of how things are run in a relationship. And if there's lack of it, or if one is not bringing enough of it, or just conversations around money, and is one simple thing that we can all get to do to try and help manage this. And one may think like, oh well, I don't have money problems and everything, which is fantastic. It's good for you. Maybe you have already found this tip. But for those who probably have been struggling with this, and you are wondering like, what can I do to try and avoid this, or what can I do to try and just make things better? And so this is the tip that I would like to share today, so that we can all just try and cut the negativity that comes into a relationship. For example, lack of communication because one has completely blocked on themselves and they don't want to talk about it, because every time the subject is brought up, an argument probably is brought up, or because one doesn't want to have to chip in or something of a sort. Then there's just a lot of negativity around the financial aspect of everything. And if this could be addressed at the beginning, not all people would be like, okay, fine, we're talking about love, there's that attraction and everything, and what you need to think about is money. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, once the relationship has reached a comfortable level whereby you need to more or less talk about finances and all that, in the sense of learning the objectives of one and the direction that each one of you wants to head towards and all that. But the reason why in a marriage money is important to be talked about, and how to just avoid all those problems later on, is because of how it can create this just small problems that we can actually avoid. And so my tip for today is having a joint account. it sounds very silly, very simple, but you can imagine this. If you are going to create like a joint account together, this is the account where if you want to put in equal amounts, it is up to the two of you. But if there's one who is earning much more money than the other, it doesn't mean it's the whichever partner, because we could be talking all partners, right? And so if one of the partners is earning much more than the other, then you can decide, or the other one can propose and say, okay, fine, I'm gonna put in the joint account maybe like a little bit more than you, but you put in this amount of money. And the reason why this is like a solution and like a miracle solver, literally savior in a way, it's because if you have a joint account, you are able to manage all the expenses of the family from this account, that nobody else touches it to do other things apart from running the errands of the family, be it shopping for the house, be it paying the bills for the house, be it paying the credit for the house, be it and if there is more, that's how you can actually be able to more or less like work out together a plan. Do you put aside whatever is remaining at the end of the month and decide it's going to be either the emergency budget, or like for funny things that always comes up, like the fridge is broken or the machine has gone down or whatever, accidents or anything of the sort, you have to have insurance. But just say to yourselves, like, if this is like the emergency pack that is being put on the side and all that, not that you're previewing it, but accidents happen and we never want them to happen, but they do happen, right? So if it is more, then you can tell yourself like, hey, we can pay ourselves a holiday, and well-deserved holiday or something of a sort. And that's the reason why it will prevent like all the arguments of like, oh, we don't have money for food, or there's no money for this, and even if one of the partners, like let's say, loses a job, for example, and this is one factor that actually brings in the stress and all that, where one is paying and the other one is not, for example, you're able to support each other. And the fact that there was a baseline that was important and taken care of, it enables the other to more or less carry you along the way, because problems do happen. It happened to my couple. I mean, I went into depression for like 10 months and I couldn't do anything. My husband had to stop working and all that. But because we had some sort of financial support on the side with an extra income coming in, we were able to survive that cycle. But it's also trying to carry the other partner when they need it the most, because they say in sickness and in health, in good and in bad, yeah. So you are able to carry each other, and vice versa. When the other person will be low, you're gonna be there for them. So it's just a passage. But the reason why the joint account is the savior of all this, it's the fact that when you have a baseline of an amount that has already been going in on a regular basis, you also have better accounts with your bank, so your bank is able to talk with both of you as a couple and be able to help you manage the finances in the best way possible. And the reason why you never close your personal account, never, never, ever, ever. Why? Because with your personal account, if anything goes wrong, you always have a backup plan, right? And so this is where you're also able to like do the things you need, so that you don't feel like you're asking permission to anyone to do whatever you want. You want to go have some makeup done or some massage done, or I don't know, just small things. And it also enables you to buy a gift to your partner without them knowing how much did you spend on your gift. There's no sort of like ambiguity on the value of a gift, but a gift anyway is supposed to be just a gesture that is supposed to be accepted and appreciated or something of a sort. But not knowing the value is also, in a good way, better, so that you don't bring some sort of judgments towards the gift or something of a sort. So I hope we you are getting me on why it is very necessary to keep your own account, but to have this valuable joint account as a couple. And so when you do not have to ask for permission, you have that independence also in the relationship, and you're able to do your things as yourself, as keeping your own account. And it gives a healthy understanding, healthy communication. And with the joint account, you are literally able to do projects together, because you're having some healthy baseline that enables you to do a lot more of things together and be able to find one another, get the middle ground that enables things to remain healthy. And so you may think like, well, money, if we are rich, why are the Bill Gates getting divorced or something of the sort? Yes, there's a lot of money and it's not a problem there and everything, but still, if one has to overwork and you are not seeing the other person because you want more, then there's that lack of communication. And why do you want much more? Because you have other ambitions and everything. And that's the reason why, whether the rich, middle, or poor, they're all grounded into this aspect of where, for the relationship to work, you need to just meet each other in the middle. And that's why the joint account is like super important. And when you're able to do big things together, bigger projects together, it enables you to enrich one another and enrich the world, because you're sharing the best version of yourselves. So I really hope that this was relatable to anyone, and that it can help your marriage or your relationship to flourish in the best way possible. And if you think that you have to overwork to make this thing work, it's not necessarily. I mean, you can become independent, you can gain time and financial freedom, because you have a lot of possibilities, digital businesses that exist that enable you to be independent, and so that you can also create much more time with your partner, so that you can have this communication that is amazing, activities together that can make things amazing. So all around this financial aspect is a lot that goes on and holds the relationship. So try and find your best suit. Try and find what will suit both of you to help you grow better and further together. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you're gonna like and subscribe, and don't forget to share with a friend. It could help save a marriage, it could help save a couple, okay? So that we can all gain time and financial freedom, so as to live, love, and learn. Until next time, bye bye, au revoir.